Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sabine Field on the campus of Norwich University for the final game of the 2019 Cadet Kickoff Classic. Tonight's match features the visiting Lions of Wheaton College and your Norwich University Cadets. Let's meet the starting lineups. First for the Wheaton College Lions. In goal, number 24, Diego Medina. Number 3, Jennings Souza. Number 4, Nick Vanini. Number 6, Troy Matos. Number 9, Alberto Franceschi. Number 14, Neil Fitzgerald. Number 15, Jules Stewart. Number 17, Jack Brusso. Number 25, Alex Nickerson. Number 26, Ben DeCina. And number 29, Antonio Roliano. The Lions are coached by Brian Wagner. He is assisted by Andrew Schaefer and Josh Souza. And now the starting lineup for your Norwich University Cadets. In goal, number 0, Robert Wagenseller. Number 2, Dash Vermilia. Number 5, Matt Bento. And number 6, Andrew Colombo. And number 9, Alex Brennan. Number 10, Amare Namaya. Number 14, Josue Lopez. Number 17, Ryan McKee. Number 23, Julio Ariola. And number 24, Elias Gabrielson. And number 26, Joe Tong Sitabong. The cadets are coached by Adam Pfeiffer. He is assisted by Brad Agus, Brendan Germano, and Chris Klein. And now everybody please rise and move your hats for the playing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And we welcome you in on the Norwich Broadcast Network as we get ready for the final matchup in the 2019 version, the iteration of the Cadet Kickoff Classic. I'm Tanner Acebo. I'm joined by Derek Dunning here for tonight's broadcast. It is Norwich against Wheaton, two undefeated teams, both teams coming off victories yesterday in the opening round of this tournament. And both teams, Derek, looking to come out of this weekend with a 2-0 record.
Yeah, certainly a tremendous performance by Norwich to come back yesterday. Huge help by the Newberry transfers with Julio Ariola scoring the game-winning goal there in the first overtime. And then Andrew Colombo scoring a big goal about 20 minutes to go in the second half to end up tying up the game after Southern Maine took a 1-0 lead. So good comeback by Norwich. On the other hand, this Wheaton team, they looked really, really strong in their game against Colby Sawyer yesterday. Ended up winning 3-0, scored a goal in the first 3 minutes of the game, and they were on cruise control from there. So a very strong side out of the NUMAC. They were a 500 team in that conference last year, but a very strong soccer conference and a lot of good teams in there.
Yeah, last year, as Derek mentioned, 9-10-1 for the Lions. 3-4 in Newmac play. Wheaton will attack right to left across your screen. Norwich left to right. We are underway here. About 8 minutes behind schedule. Not too bad considering the earlier matchup. Southern Maine and Colby Sawyer ended in a 1-1 draw, so they went full time there. Norwich in the gold uniforms this evening. They've switched out of those dark maroons with the gold striping. Wheaton in the road blues with the vertical striping down the back. Some contact over there about 35 yards out from goal. No whistle. Popping back up for the Cadets is Ryan McKee, and he is the player that is whistled for the foul ultimately.
I really like these uniforms, sir. I think the men's soccer team and the baseball team are about the only teams that use that Vegas gold color. Most of them are in the white and the maroon, but it's nice to see some teams mix it up a little. Actually, volleyball has a Vegas gold uniform as well, but it's a sharp look, I think, for the Cadets.
It's a great look for at home as well because you can have the jerseys in white, as this is a whistle now against the Lions. Wheaton's goal scorers yesterday, Alex Nickerson, Antonio Rogliano, and Charlie Stringer. As Diego Medina played 79 minutes and 7 seconds. McKee looking to send one in, but it goes well deep, a little too strong on the left-footed service there. Medina was called on to make 2 saves. Cameron Millington came in for some relief work, 10 minutes, 53 seconds. For the Cadets, Robert Wagenseller, he played every minute of the 97-minute overtime thriller last night. 3 saves, 1 goal allowed for the freshman. Wheaton under head coach Brian Wagoner in his second season, assisted by Andrew Schaefer and Josh Souza. For the Cadets, it's Adam Pfeiffer in his 4th season. As here come the Lions in transition. Ball passed out to the far side of the 18. Sky-high ball in. Brandon was 1-on-2 there. Did well to just get that ball away as he was outnumbered. Now this is Amerle Namaya upfield looking for Joseph Tongsitavong. But back come the Lions again in a pass for Alberto Franceschi, and he is sent down to the turf.
Mentioned Alex Brandon a couple seconds ago with the one clearing that ball out. Big game for him yesterday for the sophomore. 2 assists, both on set pieces. So certainly a nice step up there. And now as a sophomore to be more of an offensive player on this team.
Brandon breaks up this one with the right boot, skies it. Tongsitavong with the header forward, but we're really seeing Wheaton here in the opening 3 minutes with the vast majority of the possession of the soccer ball. Now this is Colombo for the Cadets, trying to pass it up the heart of the pitch.
Also Namaya's first action of the year after he missed the first game. So one of the Cadets' top players last year as a rookie, ended up getting second team all-conference. And
Ariola's got to be careful here. This might be a card for Julio Ariola. He's going to be very lucky to get away with just a warning from the head referee.
Definitely at least from the side, potentially from behind I agree. So
it did not look good.
Picked up a yellow yesterday as well, so last night's game and goal score has got to be careful early.
This is from about 32 out. The header missed at the 6-yard box. Wagenseller not really happy with his team as he jumps out and makes the play on the ball. It was Alberto Franceschi in the mix again. A freshman trying to put the Lions up early. Here's a chance for Namaya, 1-on-1, trying to get around his defender, and it just kind of harmlessly bounces into Medina, who now in turn is not happy with his defensive group.
Yeah, Namaya was pretty close to getting past the defender there and getting a pretty good look at the goal, but he was complaining to the ref to hopefully draw a foul, but nothing there, and as you said, Medina was able to pretty much get it uncontested.
Bento goes up for the header, and is kind of undercut there by Jack Brousseau, number 17 for Wheaton.
I thought Bento had a great game yesterday. Didn't get the start, but when he came in, Norwich definitely looked a bit more offensive. He had some nice touches in close to create some chances and earns the start today, too.
Yeah, he came in yesterday spelling Tongsi at times. We're seeing him today lined up as the winger on the near sideline, so the right winger. Transition for Wheaton, sliding play by Brannon, and the ball rolls into Wagon Cellar.
5 minutes in, Brandon's name's been called 4 times already to make nice plays.
He's a player, it's very fun to watch him defend and watch him strike the ball.
One of his high school teammates on the team this year, Ryan McKee, also from Oneonta, was not on the team last year, but transferred in this year to be a part of the cadets.
McKee was impressive yesterday, said his name a lot on the broadcast. I don't believe he was substituted out at all in the game yesterday.
I don't recall him going out.
He's the kind of guy, you look at him, he's not super intimidating physically.
5'6",
yeah,
maybe?
he's listed at 5'7", but
might have been generous there by
just an
associate
absolute
athletic trainer Nikki Dunning. I don't know.
A rock-solid defender and the ability to step up and join the play as Josue Lopez is fouled there by Captain Neil Fitzgerald, number 14 for Wheaton. 14-on-14 crime. Lopez quickly dishes it out to Elias Gabrielson. Gabrielson was also very busy yesterday on the back line. He was staying back as we saw Colombo really joining the play, joining the rush on a lot of these plays.
He's certainly one that Norwich is looking for on the set pieces. He's always around the ball and ended up scoring that goal off the corner kick service from Brannon. But good athletic player, good in the air, able to be around the ball and create chances. Not too bad defensively either as a center back.
This is a back pass, a lot of pressure from Tongsi Kind of forced the hand there of Diego Medina. Now a steal. Namaya cuts it back to his right foot. The battle between him and Gabriel Fellows there. And Namaya is cleanly dispossessed over there. It's actually Troy Matos that made the play number 6, not number 5.
We were talking about Colombo, and honestly, the player he replaced, Matt Mazzola, same number, but also similar tendencies on set pieces. He would come forward, be around the ball, to be the one.
Here comes Vermilia trying to center it for Tongsi. And he went down looking for a whistle, looking toward the referee.
So almost not even, obviously Matt Mazzola was a terrific player, four-time all-conference, but, to have a player of Colombo come in and be able to step in and really not lose too much there is got to be a nice thing for Coach Pfeiffer to have coming into the season.
Just missed on one of those set pieces yesterday at the near side post on a timing play with Brannon. We're seeing Namaya kind of get frustrated here. Wheaton's defending him pretty physically, and he's really giving an earful to the referee there. McKee showcasing the long throw-in once again. Tongsi traps it down, but put it into space. Nobody there for the Cadets. Lopez, after some back pressure on Jack Brousseau. Brannon, one touch in for Vermilia. Deflects off of the defender, Fitzgerald. Now it's skied. Tongsi directed it over toward Namaya, but it is cleared out of harm's way. Now a through ball back the other way for Franceschi. One away there from Colombo. Now Colombo stepping through. Colombo. Tongsi was offside when the ball was played. He came back and checked up, but
it was at least 10 yards offside there. Got close, but doesn't end up getting called for offsides because he wasn't part of the play once Colombo played it forward.
Just kind of wisely lets that one go.
punt looked like it kind of rolled off the side of Medina's foot there. Didn't get all of that, but
Didn't quite get to midfield, and it was picked off by Josue Lopez. Now Lopez on a 50-50 ball against Fitzgerald. McKee backtracking. Dangerous ball there. Gabrielson does well just to get a piece and get it up over the far sideline. Through the midfield, Lopez changes the pace a little bit. He's going to let one go from way out there, and it does roll wide. That was from like 34, 35 yards out, I think.
a lot of Norwich teams in action today. First weekend here of the fall sports semester, and the men's rugby team had a scrimmage down at the Dog River pitch earlier today. Lost to Bishop's University from Canada 26-16. Both cross-country teams in action, running at Colby Sawyer. Both picked up fourth place finishes, but two females in the top 10. Freshman Remy Parker Remington was third overall for the cadets, and then Robin Hageman also in the top 10. Volleyball was in action up at NVU Johnson. Ended up coming in second place in the Vermont Volleyball Classic, losing to the Badgers in 5 sets in the championship game. And I think that's everybody that was in action today. We just got men's soccer here to cap things off.
Bento ahead to Vermillion. Bento gets it back. He's 1-on-4, and he is sent down. Referee says, come on back up. Another long one in that's going to be picked up and hurled back out. Good battle between Areola and Brusso. Brandon swings the right boot. Just too high for Tong Sitavong. Lopez square to Vermillion. Now Areola. Namaya making a run far sideline. Bento. Here's Tong Sitavong. Through ball ahead. Vermillion fakes the central feed. Tries to tip it back. That ball was deflected. Crowd wants a handball call. Areola. On a bouncing ball. 1 touch forward. Lopez sealed off by 3. Goes back outside to McKee. McKee. Working on Alex Nickerson. Areola shields there and wins a Norwich throw-in. Left-footed ball from Namaya, and that is well high. And maybe a bit wide. .31:09 remaining here in the first half.
Nice crowd filling in for a Saturday night. See some of the women's lacrosse players, some women's hockey players. Good showing from the Corps cadets.
Softball here.
Some Norwich rugby players. Good to see some fellow student athletes out to support the soccer team here on a truly a fall night. I think it's we're in the 60s here. Might get it below 60 here by the end of the game. So see some long sleeves and some light jackets. The weather's certainly turning.
Contact in the midfield. Free kick coming the Cadets' way. This will be from 50 out. McKee puts some air under it. Headed backwards by the defender and having to jump up. Diego Medina to make the play.
McKee put that in a great spot, gave Norwich a chance to get ahead on it, and one of the closest chances we've had to a scoring chance so far today.
Brannon, Tong Sitavong chests it down. Now I
think they said he played it with his arm.
Yep. Just could not hear the whistle from up here. Shots are 1-0 in favor of the Cadets. Medina's really, his body language seems like he's frustrated with his back line still. Even just on that setup for that free kick. A 50-50 ball, Bento sliding in. Good work by Fitzgerald. Made the confident pass near side to Bendicina. Lopez. Ended up getting it right back after it was broken up on a dish for Tong Sitavong. Decina.
Tong Sitavong's got to be careful. He picked up a yellow yesterday for annoying the goalkeeper, basically, when he had the ball and wasn't clearing and giving enough space, and he was doing it right there again on the free kick.
Here's a shot that goes wide. Play that developed seemingly out of nowhere. It goes over to the left of Wagenseller. Yeah, there was a lot of that, kind of some dust-ups yesterday over the ball. I remember when Norwich tied the game, they tried to get the soccer ball and celebrate with it, and so their main player had taken the ball and just wanted to bring it out to midfield. And there were two other dust-ups on set pieces.
Free kick attempt for Norwich, and one of the players from Southern Maine was holding on to the ball. Areola wanted to get it back, used a little bit of body, ended up getting a card. So definitely some gamesmanship.
Bouncing ball played toward the sideline, but knocked down by Tong Sitavong as he tried to feed Bento there in the 18. Player goes down there almost right on the midfield stripe.
Gabrielson gets whistled for the foul, a little bit of body from behind.
Areola there, I just watched what he did as Gabrielson blasts this one out. He gave the Wheaton player the ball so they could take the free kick, and then he stood right there not giving him the 10 yards and kind of forced their hand. The referee had his back to the play, and Wheaton just wanted to get the ball in quickly. Knocking it down, Jack Brousseau. A cut to his right and a back pass. Brandon headed that one, the spin on it. Ball came right back down to him. Long ball ahead will make its way out over the end line. Goal kick for Wagenseller. Medina, the sophomore out of Yonkers, New York. Poway, California. The home for Wagenseller. Whistle against Namaya over on the far sideline. Foul here on Lopez. On Fitzgerald, the senior captain for Wheaton. Fitzgerald's been fouled several times by Lopez. Long setup here.
He's asking for 10. And
Yep. He's asking for 10 from Tong Sitavong, and now we're going to get a clock stoppage. And Tong Sitavong has shown a yellow card.
Second yellow in 2 games, and that's something you want to see out of somebody that Coach Pfeiffer really expects to be one that's going to be factored into scoring goals this year.
You know, we see it sometimes, Derek, in games that are played on the football field. This is an over-the-top ball in that Wagenseller plays. You can clearly see where 10 yards is on this field. So if you're Tong Sitavong, it kind of behooves you to just back up. You know, is he really going to be able to make a play on that ball if he's 3 yards closer, you know, with 7 versus 10? But then conversely, we've seen some referees come in and they don't trust the football markings. So they'll march off 10 yards.
It might only be 7 or 8.
It'll be 8, yeah. So the lines are here to help.
I see a wave of substitutions here for Wheaton. Looks like 3 different players going to head into the game about halfway through here in the first half. Number 12, Brady Smith, one of them. Did not catch the other 2.
Like Charlie Stringer in for Rogliano. Stringer is number 27, sophomore. Vermilia creates some space, has Bento on the overlap, boots it forward for Tong Sitavong. But that's broken up. Brady Smith, Avery Santoro, the third Wheaton player in. Santoro, number 16, freshman forward. He came in for Franceschi. Big contact over there.
I think we're going to see a card, too. Yes, we are.
And I believe it'll be Gabrielson.
Wow.
Gabrielson is carded. 21:34 to go, and the Cadets have been shown 2 yellow cards. This will be from 21 yards out and on a little bit of an angle. Here's the ball, Wagenseller. Got a piece.
It's Wheaton's first shot attempt of the game, according to official statistician Miranda Ruggles.
And not a lot doing offensively here.
Conversely, Norwich with 1 shot and 1 shot on goal so far. Plenty of fouls, though. 9 total.
And 2 yellow cards. Norwich free kick coming up here from Vermilia. Tong Sitavong was down on one knee before the ball got up there. Now McKee is dispossessed. And here come the Lions. Colombo at the 18 turns and drills it upfield. Tong Sitavong battling with J.D. Souza. Souza, nice footwork. Featured player for Wheaton on the cover of the program for this weekend's tournament, but play is offside.
Brady Smith just a little bit too far out in front of that play. Assistant referee right on the call.
And, yep.
And a yellow. Go into the aforementioned
Wow.
Brady
He
Smith.
must have said something.
Three
The junior.
cautions.
Yeah.
3 cautions in 25 minutes.
And in the early going, we saw a Norwich foul. I think it was Areola that committed it that could have very easily been called a yellow. He received a warning that looked to be indicative of the officiating style of tonight's match, but it has been anything but that since that warning. And probably the worst foul of all of the cards that we've seen. Gabrielson looking for McKee. McKee had to spin back, and they're off here. Offside is Avery Santoro. Bento off the touch from Lopez. Brennan curling away from Nemaya. He tracks it down. I think the play's offside, as Nemaya was off and then came back on. Gabrielson Shields. Areola. Brandon steps in. Play on, says the referee, as Brandon appeared to foul Brady Smith. And Smith is looking to the referee, looking for the call. I think he missed that the referee gave him the play on. Playing advantage for the Lions. 16:50 as this one rolls through the 18 and out over the end line. Tong Sitavong trying to head it forward. He is yanked down. Did he pull the Wheaton player down? What's the call going to be? Free kick for the Cadets. About a yard outside of the 18. Tong Sitavong in a tough play, tied up by the defender, able to head the ball forward to himself, and that's what creates the foul call.
There's some of that offensive flair that we were expecting out of Tong Sitavong this year, and ends up drawing a very good chance here for Norwich. And Brandon's lined up over it along with, can't tell who the other Norwich player is with him right now. But if I'm a betting man, Brandon's going to be the one kicking this.
You've got Bento lined up to the left of the wall. And it's taken and put up and over the bar by Stage Davis.
I would have lost the bet.
So Stage Davis in his first action of the year takes the free kick and puts it a little high. So Davis is in, as well as Shoki Araki here on the near side. Also, Matteo Iagrossi is in for the Cadets. Brannon flicked on by Bento. This one is skied out of there. Brannon nudges back to Gabrielson. So Araki came in for Tong Sitavong. And this play is onside, but Wagenseller is out. To make the play. Like Wagenseller might have had his boot stepped on there by the on-charging Santoro. And now Colombo having some words with him. And Aroki gets up and has a little push for Bendicina. At the end of the day here, it will be a cadet free kick. Dash Vermillion looking at the Norwich bench, trying to calm everybody down. .13:08 to go. Brennan from about 50 out. It's going to be on frame. It's off the hand and just wide. A jumping save by Diego Medina. Brandon nearly put it in from 50 out. And it will be a Norwich corner, so Brandon will head to that far side where he swung in the assist on last night's game-winning goal. Brandon swings it in. There's a Norwich player down. The header goes across the face of goal. That was Areola, yesterday's hero, who got the head on it. And here comes Araki. Nearly collided there with Santoro. Now Colombo with the heel flick. He ties up with Brady Smith. Now Santoro. The header. The step through by Areola. Areola tangled up with Charlie Stringer. And it's going to be a Norwich free kick. 11:50 and counting to go in this scoreless first half. Brandon from 55 out. Another sky-high one, this time Medina sees it the whole way, picks it, and quickly rolls it out to Brady Smith. Smith's pass picked off, though, by Areola. It's ahead for Bento. He dishes outside Iagrossi. A freshman from Schenectady, New York, Matteo Iagrossi, was impressive yesterday. A sliding play by McKee to break up the upfield pass. Throw in for Wheaton here at midfield. There was just a substitution made. Sean McCall and Chris Brubaker both in for Wheaton. This free kick coming up will be from 26 out. Lots of movement at the Norwich 18. A little bit of a delayed ball in here. It's a lefty ball, and it's high and wide. The freshman Araki tried to play it ahead for Bento. Now back come the Lions. Brandon left his feet, but won the ball, at least momentarily. Now Ariola tied up with Stringer. And I think at the end of the day here, Wheaton's just offside. Seeing Wheaton just kind of slowly wearing down Norwich here, as the Cadets had a couple of really good chances. This round of substitutions has given the Lions quite the shot in the arm, as that ball is long gone into the night and the woods. Throw in right in front of the Cadet bench. Long wait.
Advanced the throw in too far.
Yeah, well, he advanced it. And, I mean, we've lost 25 seconds now off the game clock.
Yeah, good.
And he's right back to the same spot again. That's only one of those things, Derek. You know, they've got the yardage right in the field. Look at McKee just knifing through over there. Little give pass by Bento back to McKee. He's got strong back pressure, and he's dispossessed strongly. Quality defending from Jules Stewart.
Nice run by McKee, though. Ended up bringing that ball up a good 30 yards. Made a good play to get around a Wheaton defender, but as you alluded to, a great play by the Wheaton defender coming in from behind and then able to kick that ball away without any disruption and a foul.
The Cadet throw in. Gabrielson goes right back to McKee, who threw it in. Lions look to clear it away. Bento chasing. Lions avoid the pressure. It'll be their throw. Over in front of their own bench.
Coach Pfeiffer pleading with the AR about something over there. Too much space, not enough space given to the kick or what, but he is visibly upset.
Ball in for Araki. He was 1-on-2 and broken up. Spinning with it is Sean McCall, and he's fouled by Colombo.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
grabbing going on there.
Both parties.
Yeah, I was wondering which way it was going to go, and goes against Norwich, but definitely could have called that foul either way.
Chris Brubaker on this free kick. Fouls continuing to pile up. That was the 7th called on the Cadets. 7 on Wheaton as well. Wagensler had to punch that one out as he saw the body of the on-charging Sean McCall. Now McCall is way offside. Wagenseller trying to push him out of there. The Wheaton players are not buying the offsides call, but I mean, they were well offside.
I think they were. I think Wagenseller may have.
No, we definitely pushed one of the players.
Yeah. I think that's what they were upset about, but I could be wrong.
And we got a tie up between Davis and Fellows is whistled for the foul. Well, Derek, we're seeing two teams that are used to scoring, getting pretty frustrated offensively, and we're seeing a lot of just kind of extra pushing and shoving. This one bounces in and is cleared away. Not out of play yet.
That was a nice ball by Brandon. Left foot, puts it right on top of the 18. Norwich didn't get a great opportunity out of it, but certainly a good setup.
Player down. Bento pops right back up. Araki trying to center it. That goes wide. 3:40 left in this, the first half. Between Norwich and Wheaton. Iagrossi trying to knife through. Advanced it for Bento. Was a bit behind Matt. Wheaton clears it out. Areola, Vermilia, Davis shields and puts it in space for McKee. Areola. Ball up the middle. Nobody really home for the Cadets. Now Davis is going to get on a steal through a seam for Araki. Crowd trying to get behind the Cadets. Davis a bit of a misstep and allows the Lions to clear it out to midfield. Gabrielson.
Norwich crowd getting into it, trying to cheer on the Cadets, and
they're way offside here.
And abruptly ends the chant.
Yeah.
Gotta give him credit though, Tanner. A good 100, 150 students at least, and then some parents mixed in. Decent crowd for a Saturday night.
Labor Day weekend festivities going on down in Depot Square here in Northfield. Vermilia to Davis, advancing it. Of course, the parade coming up. Davis is fouled here. Might have sold it a bit. So Bren, who has put one on frame from further out than this, will get this one from 42 out. It's going to bounce once. Araki, a tip, a double deflection, and the Cadets have scored! Brannon put it in play. Araki with the tip, and I think that's Areola once again. Back-to-back goals on the weekend for the transfer.
You might see a double assist there, too. As you said, Araki played it forward off the free kick, and then Ariola was the one that finally put it in. We'll have to take a look at that at halftime, but definitely a good chance at that.
So the Cadets take the 1-0 lead here. 45 seconds to go in the first half as Norwich tries to carry a lead into halftime. This is the first lead of the season for the Cadets in regulation time. The only time they led yesterday was on the scoreboard at the end of the game, the 2-1 victory in extra time. Colombo, this one's coming up and into the section of Rooks down there as they make the play on it. The long throw in. Bounced. This is danger for the Cadets. It's cleared away by Iagrossi. A volley back in. Wagenseller bobbled it momentarily, but is able to hold on, and that will take us into halftime. Norwich finds the first goal between the two sides. It is Julio Ariola's second goal of the season, and we'll see what the assists are when we come back here on the Norwich Broadcast Network. Members of the women's soccer team smuggled in a large Bluetooth speaker. And we're getting some music going there in the intermission. Trying to get the crowd stirred up, a little sing-along.
Liked it. We'll see if that can keep the Cadets' momentum rolling there after Ariola ended up picking up the goal, his second of the season there in the last minute. Official assists went to Alex Brannon and Shoki Araki. 3 assists for Brandon so far this year on all 3 goals and a great defensive game so far. So certainly a outstanding start to the season for him.
This is a long one flipped in, and Namaye comes together. And this is going to be interesting, Derek, as to who the foul is on. It is on Norwich. It is on Namaye. And McKee is getting mixed up with Medina here. I think McKee thought it was a Norwich free kick. He was trying to get the ball away. Tong Sitavong using the football markings to make sure he gave 10 yards there. He was exactly 10 yards away.
Novel concept.
From that free kick. It was a good chance for the Cadets going back to that Namaye tussle, as this is now a foul on Wheaton. Just an over-the-top ball. We saw Norwich with a good chance earlier back in the first half. Tong Sitavong with a little self-pass with the header on an over-the-top ball. Of course, the Cadets are attacking right to left here in the second half. Lions left to right. This is Tong Sitavong. He's able to get a weak shot off, and this is very interesting there. Medina.
Full extension.
Full extension, stopped the ball before it rolled out, saving a corner kick, but then he had Namaye coming in, so he had to possess that ball as he was down the ground. His whole body was out of play, but he kept that ball in play. That's a very smart move by the keeper.
That whole play was set up, too, by just 3 players. Brandon bombed it down deep. Namaye was the one. They played it forward. He played it back to Hunter Lortie, who made Ryan McKee, who made a long run down the left side, and a lot of ground covered there, and nice setup really the first 3 minutes of the half to get a chance like that and put some pressure on early.
Josue Lopez puts one into space for Tong Sitavong. He's 1-on-2. He cuts it to his right foot. He gets the shot off, but he was off balance, and it goes wide.
Norwich certainly not sitting back on that 1-goal lead. They are pressing hard to try to get that second goal and really put the pressure here on Wheaton. Wheaton really hasn't had a chance to get much offensive momentum rolling. They obviously had a great start to the game yesterday, scoring the first 3 minutes, but really haven't sustained any long periods of offensive pressure, and a lot of the game's been played in the middle, but I'd say it's definitely tilted a little bit towards Norwich's way, and that was even before the goal ended up happening at the end of the end of the first half. Ariola jostling for position here around midfield with J.D. Souza of Wheaton.
Referee put the whistle in his mouth but did not decide to blow that play down at all. I think the right call. This has got to be a foul here. Yeah. As Brandon is ridden down from behind.
This is in his range too.
It's in his range, and I don't see that being worthy of a yellow card. 41-39 left to go in the second half. More fans still filtering in to the stadium, by the way. Maybe they heard the sing-along. This is from 48 out. Brandon headed on by Ariola over to Colombo. The Cadets are offside.
Colombo was offsides, yep. Assistant referee was right on it, but still a really nice setup there, nice combo.
Fans think the Cadets scored, but
no,
they did not.
They did not. But
also, the clock stopped.
Start the clock.
The clock has begun. So Norwich very nearly had their first 2-goal lead of the year as Vermillion. Nice little fake there by Dash, finds Lopez wide open, the rip shot, it's off the post, the rebound, tucked home, Matt Bento, 2-0 Cadets.
Wow, what a start. What a start to the second half for the Cadets. Josue Lopez with an absolute cannon off the left post. Norwich ends up putting it home on the rebound, but what a chance, what a goal, and looks like our work study extraordinaire, Michael Mend, saying they got that on camera. We got 3 cameramen down there. I hope one of them got it, but what a chance there for Norwich, and they end up burying it. Bento is the one that finally puts it in, and this Cadets team's rolling right now.
Yeah, it's Bento's first of the season, and you mentioned it, Derek, he was all around it last night. Creating some chances coming in off the bench. He gets the start today, and he cashes in. It was a great shot by Lopez that comes off the near side post, and Bento all alone to bury the rebound. That play all starts with Dash Vermillion getting the ball about 6 yards back from the 18. So he receives the ball there. He makes one little subtle stutter step to his left to get the defense moving a bit, and then he sends it back against the grain. Lopez is wide open. He puts a great shot on. Another long ball ahead. Namaya gets the body position, bringing it toward the corner here. Swings it in. Left-footed shot by Bento. He fanned on it. Here comes Lopez. Lopez was 1-on-2, was dispossessed, and he commits a foul. Brandon spun that one toward Colombo.
So Tanner, after certainly a shaky performance, I would say, yesterday, they ended up building and getting better as the game went on, but definitely a lot of new faces in the lineup. I think there were only 3 players that that were on the team last year that ended up starting in the game yesterday. And then built as the game went on. Today, almost a completely different story. Norwich possessing a lot more, creating more chances, get that late goal, and then this second half, they have been all around the ball, completely suffocating Wheaton, and end up taking a 2-0 lead early.
Wheaton's had some strong possession as well. I mean, this really was a back-and-forth game, but as you said, Derek, that late goal, this is headed away by Colombo. Here comes the half volley, and the Cadets misjudged that one. Lopez eventually able to sky it away. They get that late goal, and then a couple of chances. There was that play by Medina right on the goal line earlier, where he was forced to just smother the ball with one arm as his whole rest of his body was out of bounds.
And I hate to keep harping on it, but it is a storyline. The Newberry transfers, like, they're all around it. You've had Colombo making all the plays on defense at center back. He had the goal yesterday. Ariola has 2 goals. Josue Lopez completely set up that chance for Bento with that laser beam off the left post. And Coach Adam Pfeiffer has got to be very, very happy with the fact he was able to land all those players with the unfortunate situation for Newberry closing. And now we're going to have a chance here for Wheaton. Norwich got caught a little bit defensively, and number 25 for Wheaton leading the rush up. That is Alex Nickerson, but he ended up getting tangled up with Colombo, and not much of a break anymore for Wheaton as Norwich has been able to cover defensively.
Yeah, they really just kind of slowed that play down. And the ball didn't really leave a 10, 15-foot radius once that play was slowed down. Wheaton is looked good in transition tonight, though. I think we had a foul way back. McKee was fouled back there. This will be a Norwich throw-in. Brannon will take this. Ball headed, Tang Sitavang. This is deflected off of a Cadet. Played about 10 minutes here of this second half. All said and done here, Derek, the shots are 6-2 Norwich and 3-1 in terms of shots on goal. Is this one another one in on Medina?
Brannon again.
Alex Brannon, just a sophomore. Started every game for the Cadets last year as a freshman. Foul against Namaya here as he took down Stringer. Intercepted by Bento, and then he fanned on that one. He's whiffed on a couple here in the last 10 minutes or so. Bouncer in, and Wagenseller. The one that he did not whiff on made it a 2-0 lead for the Cadets, though. As Wagenseller comes over to Gabrielson. Elias sends it up. Headed down, Vermilia trying to his feet on that ball was pinned in between two Wheaton players. That was kind of a strange play. Pass ahead for Nickerson, and they're offside, says the near side AR.
So just for comparison's sake, for an opponent that maybe Norwich Cadet fans are a little more familiar with, looking back at last year's schedule, Wheaton played Johnson and Wales, a team that Norwich is very familiar with all those GNAC playoff games they've had over the years, each team kind of in each other's season back and forth for about the last 5 or 6 years. Johnson and Wales beat them 2-1 in overtime on September 2nd, so the second game of the season for both teams. So certainly a strong side and would be right up there at the top in the GNAC if they were playing in the GNAC. But as we talked about in the pregame, I remember that very, very strong NUMAC conference. You got MIT in there, you got Babson, you got Coast Guard, Clark, strong soccer schools, and it's really tough to make inroads there unless you have a really good team. Been talking about the women's soccer team a little bit tonight. They've been drumming up the support and getting the fans going here. They're going to be in action tomorrow down at Castleton. Head coach Heather Fosse in her second season. They opened up on the road Friday against Ramapo. A strong school down there in New Jersey. Ended up losing 4-0. It was 1-0 at halftime. Gave up a penalty kick goal, and then Ramapo kind of took it and ran with it there in the second half to go up 4-0. But a big matchup for Norwich tomorrow to take on an in-state opponent. Haven't played Castleton in a few years and try and pick up a win there.
This one bouncing around inside. That was kept alive on the goal line by Josue Lopez. Lopez just saved a goal for the Cadets. That's been the bugaboo for Norwich right now, at least in the early going, Derek. These balls, they kind of pinball around inside the 18 on these set pieces, these long passes. And the Cadets kind of struggle to cleanly get the ball out of there.
Lopez made a play, and also Brandon was one that kicked
Whoa, Vermilia. Vermilia got yanked down. No card. And I did not hear the whistle up here. There's a Wheaton player that didn't hear the whistle as well. But everyone has cleared out. It was Vermilia that got yanked down over there. Tong Sitavong trying to win a 50-50 ball, and the Maya could not connect on the half volley as it was broken up by the Lions' back line. Vermilia trying to trace this one down. Finds Lopez. Lopez defended by Stringer. Now Brandon with a steal. Lopez. Touch out. Here's Bento. Changes the pace, tried to cut it around Decina. But a strong play by the sophomore back. And this is a whistle. And this is against Wheaton again. The Norwich bench very animated right now. We've played 15 minutes of the second half. 2-0 Cadets. Brandon just faked out one of the Wheaton players. Now serves it in looking for Vermilia. And Dash couldn't get a piece. If he had been able to slow that ball down even slightly, I believe it would have caught up to Amerle Namaya.
Namaya being the left-footed, predominantly player that he is, he would have had a great look at that too, coming in from the left and have a lot of net to shoot at on his power side. Nice play by the referee to quickly evade the ball there and get the legs apart. Wagenseller now up to 2 saves on the game after he made that play on the end line. That last rush Wheaton had, where a little bit of frantic 30 seconds with the ball kind of inside their 18 and pinballing around in there.
Lopez got around the sliding challenge there of Neil Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald a little ginger. I think it might just be an equipment issue, actually. Might have been the right shin guard there. Had to adjust. Areola from Brannon at 44.09. And Bento from Lopez at 49.30. I think Shoki Araki's got an assist in there as well. Lunging play by McKee. McKee's kind of been quiet tonight defensively. Haven't said his name a whole lot since the opening 10 minutes or so. Player that was very, very active defensively yesterday. And we'll get a look at him here on the right side, and he knocks that one down, deflects out of play.
See a substitution here for Wheaton. Number 14, Neil Fitzgerald's going to head off. Can't quite get the number yet for who's coming on. Looks like number 3, that should be J.D. Sousa.
Sent in, headed by Tongsi Tavong, and then a full volley by Namaya, shading toward the near sideline. Tongsi Tavong uses the noggin, keeps it in play. His self-pass, though, booted upfield off the right foot of Troy Matos. Now Brannon, bit of an uncharacteristic mishit there, but Namaya is in the space to settle the ball. Lopez rolling it out into space. This is Brannon. Lopez, Bento in the box, well as Tongsi-Tavong, and it goes right in on Medina. He had Namaya hanging up at the 18 as well, so really big numbers for the Cadets joining the rush on that play with 25:44 left to go.
Not sure what the call is here, but Norwich is going to get a free kick around their own 25-yard line after a little bit of gamesmanship there. Brannon, of course, will be the one to take it. So it looks like the Cadets are getting ready for a sub to come in. It might be Stage Davis again looking to re-enter the game.
It does look like Stage over there, and
going to be a host of
Shoki Araki is making his way over, and I believe that is Matai Iagrossi as this one by Tongsi-Tavong through the uprights above the crossbar.
Now we're going to see all those subs come in here. Stage Davis coming in for Josue Lopez.
Bento heads off as Araki is in. And Davis for Namaya. I think the same kind of cycle that we saw in the first half as well. Our coach Pfeiffer and his assistants Brad Agus, Chris Klain, and Brendan Germano. Vermilia broken up. But then the sliding play allowed the Cadets to get the ball back. Here's Brandon. Sends one in on a line. Goal kick coming up. Iagrossi in there and Tangsitavong in there too. But if they had got a piece of that, good on them. McKee will take the throw. McKee. Back to Tangsitavong. The play is onside. Left-footed ball in. Too high and a bit too far behind Araki. And that one hopped up, caught the left shoulder of the Wheaton player, Brady Smith. Cadets are contending for a free kick, but they'll get a throw-in instead with the 22:50 and counting to go. This is a deflection and a corner kick on the way. This will be just the second corner kick of the match, and the Cadets own both of them.
Alex Brandon going to be the one to take it. No surprise. I'd look for Colombo here. He's usually the one that they're kind of looking for as a first option on the far post. A little bit shorter this time, and Ariola was going to be the first one there.
Grossi chests it down, step over move, draws two defenders. His only real chance there was to get rid of that ball in the first chance, and here is a pass upfield for Nickerson. It takes him a little wide. He's cutting it back in toward goal. Left-footed shot. Big save by Wagenseller. Rebound cleared away by Brandon, but inadvertently right to Charlie Stringer. Stringer's pass is going to be too strong and make its way over the far sideline. Wagenseller, the big save, the big thumbs up from his defenseman, Gabrielson, as well.
Arguably the best save of the young Wagenseller's career. We're 2 games in, but I'd say that ranked up there over anything he had in the Southern Maine game. Hasn't been called upon too much to try to make any today. One team we haven't mentioned yet is the Norwich football team. A little bit of a change to the calendar this year. They're starting as late as they possibly can for regular season games. They're going to open up on the road at Selve Regina next weekend before coming back home for their home opener against St. Lawrence on September 14th here at Haynes Family Stadium. And then the big one, the Mug will be back on the line for the Norwich Bicentennial and Homecoming celebration on the 21st. That'll be against the Coast Guard Academy at 2 p.m.
This one in for Iagrossi. Goes around his man, draws a second, centering pass! Tangsitavong from Iagrossi, 3-0 Cadets.
What a play by Iagrossi on the end line to make that play, get around the defender, center it, and then Tangsitavong, who has been around it so many times, finally gets his first goal as a Norwich Cadet, probably the first of many. And what can you say about this Norwich performance in this game? A 3-0 lead against Wheaton, a team that looked really, really good yesterday, and I thought was going to be a big, big struggle for the Cadets today. They've matched up really well, risen to the occasion, and they're leading 3-0 with 20:34 left to go. Definitely didn't see this coming.
Three 0 Norwich. Ariola, Bento, and Tangsitavong. Bento and Tangsitavong both their first of the year. For Tangsitavong, his first career goal. And Ariola picks up his second of the season.
Norwich University goal scored by number 26, Joe Tangsitavong. Assist to number 20, Mateo Iagrossi. That's
Back come the Lions, a centering bid. Wagenseller out to make the play on the centering pass. Grossi from 30 yards out. And we got a foul here down in front of us. The whistle is on Nickerson. And it's McKee that is fouled. Clock's still ticking, and now McKee remains down, so they will call for the athletic training staff here with the clock stopped and 18:44 to go. And now that they've been called for, McKee is going to have to come off. So he steps off here, and he'll be able to re-enter. And now they're going to make the athletic training staff run all the way over to the near sideline. McKee was going to be able to head off the field under his own power, it sure looked like. $18:44 to go here as he gets the right leg checked out.
Women's soccer team still having a good old time down in the stands, keeping things light. McKee's.
Yeah, he's going to kind of, limp off under his own power here, but just a lot of confusion about, did he need to come off? The referee was all the way over on the near sideline calling for the athletic training staff. They probably couldn't see very well. All right, here we go. Whistle's blown. Grossi will send this one. It is a good one. Medina, good read on it. Gets it away from Gabrielson, who was way up in the play, and the Lions wanted transition. Brannon launches it back in with the left boot, getting some time for his fellow defenders to make it back. And then Grossi comes together with Matos. And Matos is down. Grossi is trying to apologize, but Tong Sitavong is getting him out of there. And they're going to call for the Wheaton athletic training staff now.
I think they were the lone team that actually didn't bring an athletic trainer, so the Norwich training staff is going to be coming out as well as a member of the Wheaton coaching staff. I think it's the
Wheaton head coach. And Matos is walking away. I think he's bleeding. I think that's what the issue is. Yeah. So he's holding something to his face there, and he walks off under his own power.
Norwich assistant athletic trainer Kate Harney out to tend to the Wheaton player, as well as women's soccer player Courtney Amell. Draw on applause from her teammates down here. Looks like Troy Matos is going to be all right once they get that cleaned up and be able to head back into action if they choose to bring him in. Number 26, Ben DeCina, is going to come on and replace Matos.
And when it's all said and done here, it is Norwich ball on the throw-in. Oh, Ia Grossi. Dispossessed. Booted upfield. Gabrielson. Leaves it for Wagenseller. Wagenseller picked off by Nickerson. Now a step by Areola. Lopez over to Brandon. Stage ran into Souza. And Davis goes down. And there's a Wheaton player that's down behind the play. It's Nickerson, and he's limping off. So he makes his way off. Brandon from 40. This is in his range, but it goes wide.
I thought for a second he had that far post peg, but the goalkeeper had a way better angle on it than I did and knew it was sailing wide. Going to see a Norwich substitution here. It looks like Bento. It is Bento.
Mm-hmm.
Bento's going to come on for Tonsitavan. And I should say that's Matt Bento, not his brother, who has joined us this year as a freshman. That'd be Michael Bento. Saw some action yesterday against Southern Maine, but has not seen any time today. I think Coach Pfeiffer only went to about 4 on the bench today after using a lot more yesterday. Norwich now 12-5 lead in shots, 8-4 in on target. And yes, Norwich has used 4 players. Araki, Lorty, Davis, and Ia Grossi have all been substitutions in the game today. Wheaton, on the other hand, has gone 7 deep for defense, or 4 substitutions.
Free kick from Brandon. It's loose out of the hand of Medina. Getting a left foot to it was Areola. A sliding play. 4-0 Norwich. Josue Lopez.
Bento also celebrating like he got it, but I think that's got to go to Lopez. Lopez was the one that finished it. But what a phenomenal effort tonight by Norwich. The crowd's loving it. Huge crowd here on hand. Cadets score 4 goals. What more could you ask for on a Saturday night in Northfield?
Labor Day weekend, a beautiful day all day. Was a very good first matchup today between Southern Maine and Colby Sawyer, ending in a 1-1 draw. Lopez at 74-41. So Josue Lopez with his first career goal. Bento trying to go 1-on-3, gets nicked up and is fouled.
Norwich University goal scored by number 14, Josue Lopez.
Lopez will take this free kick here as well from 36 out.
Lopez's first of the season.
Lopez sends it in. I think the Cadets are offside. Yeah, far side assistant referee. 14:20 to go. 2 Wheaton subs coming on. 1 will be a goalkeeper. So it looks like Medina's night is ending shortly. We'll have to see if it is Millington once again, or if it's maybe Chris Strempel, number 32, or 35, rather. So here come the substitutions for Wheaton, and a change in net. That is number 0, Cameron Millington, the freshman from Fairfield, Connecticut. Again, he played 10 minutes and 53 seconds in last night's 3-0 win. This ball in, and turning and blasting it is Brannon. Near side throw in coming up. Bounced once, and then it's shot out of there by Benzo. Be another throw in for Wheaton here. Flicked on with the header. Bouncer, Colombo. Turnaround one-timer fanned on. And Norwich gets the ball out of danger. Stewart. A little give and go, and then Stewart's pass goes out of play. Header by Colombo. Ball settled. 35 out. Now Wheaton's just, they're not quite connecting on some of these passes. Wagon Seller with 10:25 and counting to go. Another over the top ball. Gabrielson makes the play on it. Sean McCall intending it was a dangerous play. The Lions do get the throw in. Ball sent in. Wagenseller initially started out, backtracking in, and the header goes up and over the crossbar.
Well, Tanner, now just under 10 minutes to go. 4-0 lead, I think it's safe to start talking about what's next here for Norwich. This one's looking in a pretty good spot, but Middlebury coming to town on Tuesday. Team that Norwich has not beaten since the early 2000s. They got a tie against them last year, so pretty big matchup. Interstate game. Coach Pfeiffer used to be part of that Middlebury coaching staff before he got the job here.
Amerlin Namaya on a one-on-one bid that's broken up, resulting in a Norwich corner kick to follow.
Certainly should be a must-see game there on Tuesday night. Hopefully we'll get another great crowd. I mean, it's continued to fill in here. Even with it being 4-0 and 9 minutes to go. Crowd sticking till the end, having a good time. Love to see it.
Here comes the corner from Brandon. Just missed the header. A lunging play by Bento. Now Lopez changes pace. Just on the edge of the 18. He banks it off of the Wheaton player and out.
Another Norwich substitution here.
I think we're going to see McKee come back in. And Davis will head off. And Vermiglia will go back to his original spot, I think. You can see the defenders talking. Yeah, McKee's going to take his spot back. Meanwhile, the play is going on upfield, so the Cadets actually had one less player up in the mix there. Back-to-back interstate matchups for Norwich soccer. As Derek had mentioned back in the first half, Norwich women's soccer travels down to Castleton University tomorrow. Coach Fossey, a connection there. Her younger brother played lacrosse for Castleton. That'll be taking place down at Spartan Stadium.
I believe that actually just got renamed recently, didn't it?
Oh, really?
President Walk, I believe, had it renamed after me. I think it was last year they renamed the stadium. Certainly a fitting tribute to President Walk, who was a huge huge proponent for athletics at Castleton, improved a ton of facilities there during his time, and they gave him that honor. I'm almost positive it happened last year.
Of course, there's the Walk Cup that the Norwich men's and women's hockey teams compete for against Castleton. We've got friends that worked in different facets of that athletic department over the years, and definitely it's a big swing to really invest. We've seen what Johnson at Wales has done recently as well, really taking notice and investing in athletics, and we've watched both of those departments flourish. Of course, Castleton recently joined the Little East Conference.
Big step up from where they were in the NAC. They really had their way with the NAC in a lot of sports. And
a spin here by Bento on the Maradona.
Draws an applause from the crowd.
This is a roller.
Bento
That goes wide. Yeah.
Little side volley there. He was feeling it after that nice move he made to create space, and they're going to say it deflected off a Wheaton player. Going to be a corner kick.
So it was a deflection.
Namaya is going to be the one to take the corner kick here with the big left foot, try and curl it in. Pretty good ball, but no Norwich player really in the vicinity.
They only had two in the 18.
Sagging back here now with a 4-goal lead.
And also, you note that it was Namaya that took that. Brandon staying back in his defensive spot. No real need for the Cadets to risk anything. by bringing him up by 4. Vermilia completes to McKee. Now McKee tried to step over, kind of stumbled a bit. Comes Iagrossi turning on the Jets, trying to close in on Billy Conti. Now McCall stepping around. Conti swings it back. Knocked on by Stringer. Stringer trying to switch fields, nearly intercepted there by Bento. Ben DeSena puts one to the 18. Colombo was in between 2 forwards, and he still able to win that out with the header. Down the left side, Colombo shields and wins the goal kick with 3:38 left to go.
Tanner, I know you normally thank the rest of the staff towards the end of your broadcast, usually when you close it. Obviously, we have Julia Campiglio on camera tonight, but I wouldn't be able to be here on the color commentary if we didn't have great student workers doing the stats. Miranda Ruggles is a junior student worker for us. She's doing stats night with the assistance of Melina Jackson. So awesome to have those two helping us out so that I could jump over here and not have to worry about the stats. And also got 2 photographers that are covering all the action that you guys see a lot of game action photos on norwichathletics.com as well as Instagram. Chandler Mosier and Michael Men. Anybody out there that wants a work-study job, we're always looking to hire. These kids have a great time and get to be part of an athletic production. So feel free to join us.
Millington has been a little busy. I'd presume a little busier than in last night's 3-0 victory when he kind of came in garbage time. Nemaya, he's the kind of guy, unless Coach Pfeiffer says, take the foot off the gas, he's going to try to score as many goals as he can. And he provided a lot of pressure on Millington the last time that ball was down. 2 hour left. Lions still trying to build an attack here, an over-the-top ball. That will bounce out of play and result in a cadet throw-in to 20 and counting to go. Back on the air with you for that Middlebury soccer broadcast on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. And then Norwich does not play at home for 2 weeks. Big early season tilt up at St. Joseph's of Maine on September the 14th.
3-time defending GNAC champs.
Left-footed ball, Wagenseller the save, the rebound is cleared away. Ball sent right back in, and play was onside. We got Wheaton players all over the place. Wagenseller makes the play. He's going to go over and check on number 4 there for Wheaton, Nick Vanini. But at any point on that play, Derek, there were 3 Wheaton players down inside the cadet 18. Here's a bouncer. Wagenseller out. Colombo got a piece of McCall there. And McCall had a little piece to say to Wagenseller, it looked like there as well. Vermilia banked off a defender and is out.
Remaining in the second half. 1 minute.
.45 seconds left. Another ball into the 18. McKee makes the play. Brandon heads it toward the near sideline. A lot of speed from DeSena. DeSena looking to send one in. It goes wide. 24 seconds left, and that, for all intents and purposes, should do it here.
Nine, 8, 7,
So the Cadets, a much different result tonight. Still goes in the win column. No comeback needed. All Norwich. 4-0 is the final. The Cadets improve to 2-0 on the season. Wheaton will fall to 1-1. Julio Ariola, Matt Bento, Joseph Tongseth-Avong, and Josue Lopez, the goal scorers for the Cadets. Robert Wagenseller improves to 2-0 on his young career. And the large crowd that came out tonight, Derek, they head home happy.
Absolutely, very happy. Norwich with a terrific effort tonight. You mentioned it. A lot of different players getting involved in the action. Josue Lopez and Matt Bento hook up twice, one scoring each time. And a 4-0 win against a very solid Wheaton team here. A lot of momentum going forward here into that Middlebury game on Tuesday.
So again, 4-0 is the final. Cadets 2-0, Wheaton 1-1. We are back with you on Tuesday night for the Middlebury matchup. For Julia Campilio, for Derek Dunning, I'm Tanner Acebo. We thank you for tuning in. Have a safe and happy rest of your Labor Day weekend.